Hey, it's Naomi. So before we dive in, if you've ever finished an episode feeling like, okay, I needed that, but wish you had something to actually walk you through the healing, well, that's exactly why I built Elevate Me. It's a self-love journey, an AI guided, but it's written in my voice. Meditations, workbook, real tools for real healing. So head on over to studio.com/Naomi to check it out. All right? All right, so let's get into today's episode. Monday, we talked about the journey from broken to unbroken. But today, we are going to map your journey. We identify where you are, what work you need to do, and what support you need, because transformation isn't theatrical. It's practical, it's real. So let's do the work. Welcome to the Season of Self-Love Podcast. I am your host, NmW&x, and I am so glad that you are here. As we continue to transform in life, so does this podcast. In Season 5, we're moving differently, more intentional, more action, less learning, more doing, less waiting, and more living. This is a space where we don't just talk about self-love, we practice it. We don't just discuss transformation, we live it. Every episode is an invitation to do the work with me, not just listen to me talk about it. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Naomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself intentionally is a foundation of true transformation. So get ready, get your journal, get your pen, because in Season 5, we're doing the work together. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people. Well, welcome to the Season of Self-Love Podcast. Again, my name is Naomi&x, the goddess. Yeah, so, all right, so before we dive into these exercises, let's ground ourselves with a 60-second guided meditation, all right? So today is all about accepting where we are and committing to the journey. So wherever you are right now, close your eyes if you can and get comfortable, all right? I want you to take a deep breath in. Now slowly release. And then I want you to say to yourself, I accept where I am. I commit to the work. Now inhale. Exhale. Now say, I don't have to be fixed. I just have to be willing. Inhale. Exhale. Now say, I'm starting my journey from broken to unbroken. Inhale. Exhale. Now say, I am not doing it alone. One more breath in. Release. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and let's begin. All right, my beautiful people, if you are new here to the Season of Self-Love Podcast, it's something we do every episode to just help ground us before we get into the topic at hand, all right? All right, so Monday we learned about transformation. We learned that transformation is a journey and not a moment. It's a series of choices, and it requires facing the truths, getting support, doing the healing work, changing patterns, and just building something new. And it takes time. So today we are going to map your journey. All right. So I want you to get your journals together, grab your journals. So let's get it. First we got to be honest about where you are. You got to be honest about where you are. So step 1 is to assess your brokenness. And this isn't about shaming. This is about honest assessment. So now on a scale of 1 through 10, 1 barely surviving and 10 thriving, where are you right now? Not where you want to be, not where you're pretending to be, but where are you actively are? Now write it down, all right? All right, now step 2. What's broken? What's broken? What area of your life is broken? And if you're like, what you talking about, Naomi? Examples: relationship, your self-image, your mental health, your physical health. Is it your finances? Is it your career, your purpose? Is it about your spirituality, the trust that you have within yourself for others? Or could it be boundaries or your identities? But whatever it is, I want you to be specific about what it is. And you might have multiples in multiple areas. And I want you to write it down, all right? I want you to write it down. All right. Now, in step 3, how long has this been broken? How long have you been carrying this? Has it been days? Have it been months? Have it been years? Has it been decades? Write it down. Because the thing is, understanding the timeline is what's going to help you understand how much work it would take. All right. All right. So the next exercise is facing the truth. This is probably one of the hardest exercises because it requires honest acknowledgement. All right. For this exercise, step 1, what broke you? What happened? And I don't want you to minimize it or don't even reframe it. I want you to be real with it. I want you to be, what broke you open? What broke you open? Was it a relationship? Was it an abuse? Was it what was it? What broke you open? And I want you to write it down. All right? Now the next step, step 2, how have you been coping with it? How have you survived this? All right. How did you survive this? Were you numbing it? Whether, through alcohol, drugs, that's what you was using? Is it food that you've been using, shopping, distraction? What other thing did you pick up to numb what broke you? Were you hiding? Were you pretending that it's fine and just performing for people or people pleasing? Or did you blame others? Or was you avoiding things and just being busy and staying disconnected? Or was you controlling other situations and outcomes because you couldn't deal with your own? And this is where I want you to be honest. And when I say this, I mean this. There is no judgment here. There is no judgment here. Because you did what you needed at that time to survive, especially when you didn't know any better. Step 3, the cost. Now I want you to ask, what is this costing me? Not in judgment, in reality. How is it affecting? How is it affecting your relationship? How is it affecting your health? How is it affecting your self-image, your potential, your peace? How is it affecting all of that? I want you to write it down. And understanding that the cost helps you to understand your motivation for change. Now, exercise 3, the 5 choices of transformation. And then I want you to remember the 5 choices for Monday, right? Now you're going to assess where you are with each of them. Choice 1, facing the truth. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much have you faced what broke you? 1 equals I'm still avoiding it completely, or 10, I've looked at it fully and I'm integrating it into lessons. I'm applying it intentionally. I want you to write the number down. And if you're below 5, that's your first work. All right. All right. Choice 2, getting support. Do you have support? Do you have support? Who are you talking to about this? Are you talking to a therapist, a counselor, a coach, a trusted friend, a spiritual guide, a support group, or community? And if you don't have support, who do you need? Write it down. And choice 3 is doing the healing work. Are you actively doing the work? And what does that look like for you? Is that in a therapy session? Is this in journaling? Is it meditation? Is it about reading and learning? Is coaching? Is it starting a spiritual practice or physically healing? What work are you doing or need to do? I want you to write it down. In choice 4, changing patterns. What old patterns are you ready to break? Have you been people pleasing? Have you been a perfectionist? How about you being isolated somewhere or avoiding? Are you self-sabotaging? Are you accepting some mistreatments? Or are you not setting boundaries? Name one pattern that you are ready to interrupt today. And choice 5 is building something new. What do you want to build? What's the opposite of what's broken? So if your broken is isolation, it's about building community. If your broken is shame, it's about building self-love. If your broken is mistrust, it's about building a healthy relationship. And if your broken is no boundaries, your building is strong boundaries. So it's what do you want to build? And exercise 4 is your transformation roadmap. Now, this is where we create the map. Let me move this over a little bit. This is where we create the map, all right? So step 1 is, what's your first step? Do you transform all at once? Or do you take one step based on where you at? What's your first step? Do you need to find a therapist? Do you need to start journaling? Do you need to join a group? Do you need to read a book on healing? I want you to set one boundary. I want you to have one honest conversation. Now start meditating and join a community. What is your first step? Step 2, what support do you need? You can't do this alone. So what support do you need? Professional support, a community support, a friend support. You know what? Who do you need to reach out to? Who do you need to ask? I want you to write this down, and then I want you to make one call or send one message this week to that person that you are in need of. And step 3, what would you stop doing? This is sometimes what a lot of people miss when they are going through their transformation. Transformation means stopping things. And it's like, what are you ready to stop? Are you ready to stop the numbing? Are you ready to stop the hiding? Are you ready to stop the blaming? Are you stop accepting the mistreatment? Are you stopping the people pleasing? Name one thing that you are ready to stop. And then let's talk about the timeline. Remember, transformation takes time. So I want you to ask yourself honestly, am I willing to do this work for how many months or years that it's going to take? And I want you to be realistic. Because if you're not willing to commit to this information, if you're not willing to write down your commitment, then it's time. It's time for you to do. And you got to be ready for it. I told you it's not going to be easy. And exercise 5 is the messenger commitment. This is where we finally commit to being the messenger of your own journey. So step 1 is the commitment. And I want you to write this. All right. I'm going to say it slow. I am broken in what area? I am broken in the area. I am willing to do the work. I am committing to, what's your first step? And I'm asking for support. And what support are you asking for? Are you asking for a therapist? Are you asking for a community, a person? I am ready to become unbroken. And I am willing to let people see my journey. And I'm going to read it one more time. I am broken in the area. What area are you broken in? I am willing to do the work. I am committing to the first step, whatever the first steps are. I am asking for support in whatever field that you're asking for support in. I am ready to become unbroken, and I am willing to let people see my journey. Step 2, who needs to know? Who in your life needs to know that you're doing your work? Is it your partner, your kids, your friends, your community? You don't have to broadcast it all over the place, but you might need to tell people so they understand why you're setting boundaries, why you're making changes, why you are no longer available for certain things. And step 3, your actions this week. What's one thing that you're going to do this week? You're going to make an appointment. You're going to have a conversation. You're going to join a group. You're going to start journaling. Set boundaries. Do one thing and make it real. Put it on the calendar. Put it on a calendar. So before I go into the closing affirmation, I want to share something with you all. Probably a few weeks ago, I had to explain to one of my loved ones on why I'm no longer attending certain things or being in certain spaces or coming back anywhere. Because I say I'm no longer in that space. I'm in my life that I'm requiring peace, no toxicity, that things are different for me. And I no longer align with certain spaces, no matter family or whatever. I just don't, if I don't do that in my regular home, in my regular life, I'm not going to go outside of that and do that and receive that from me. And you know what? It was so surprising, but that loved one understood. Like, I understand. I understand now what you mean and what you're talking about. So when you do make that decision and you do choose to become unbroken and go through that transformation, I want you to just be strong in that commitment to yourself. Be strong in that commitment to yourself, because it's going to be an amazing, it's an amazing feeling when you get through that transformation. And when I say through, because there is not a destination, because you are forever healing, but it's going to feel so much better. And you will see yourself so multidimensional, and you will no longer be one dimension. All right, my people. So I close an affirmation for today. I want you to repeat after me, if you can. I am broken in whatever area you are broken in, and I am willing to do the work. I am facing the truth, and I am getting support. I am doing healing work, and I am changing my patterns. I am building something new, and I am starting my journey. And I am not alone. I am reclaimed. I am unashamed, and I am becoming unbroken. All right, my beautiful people. So you just mapped out your journey from broken to unbroken, and you identified where you are, what work you needed, what support you need, and that is powerful. This is the work. We're not thinking about transformation. We're not wishing for it, but we're doing it. We are doing it. And next Monday, we're going to talk about the messenger effect, of how your visibility, how your visible transformation give permission for others. But this week, I want your first step. I want you to make that call. I want you to set that one boundary. I want you to practice. I want you to get support. Remember, this season is all about action. It's all about action. That's why right now these podcasts sound like we in class. Because we are. We got to get it together. All right? All right, it's your girl, the goddess, Naomi Banks here, and I'm reminding you that you are not broken forever. No, you're not. You are broken right now. And this is where the work begins, all right? So, all right. So if this work we're doing, because it is real. And if you want any more guided support, transformation journey, Elevate Me is here. 4 phases designed to take you from awakening all the way through integration and elevation. And I cannot wait to add more to this app. I really can't. I really can't wait. But learn more at studio.com/Naomi. /Naomi, that's NYOMI.com. All right. And hey, if this is something in today's episode that hit home for you, I want to hear about it. Text me or leave me a voice note using the link right in the show notes. All right. So, as I always say, be good to one another and in yourselves, and always keep it sexy, because love yourself first so you can love others well. All right. Don't forget to watch us on YouTube, The Season of Self-Love. All right. Have an amazing day. I'll see you on Monday. Have a good one.